Long John Silver's isn't the fried fish superstar that it once was. Let's take a look at what went wrong with Long John Silver's and what they're doing to try to turn the tide of this seafood institution. Long John Silver's was founded in 1969 by Jim Patterson, who had a simple idea: bring the sunny seaside fish and chips eating experience to families nationwide. In 1999, though, the chain was bought by A&W, which later became part of Yum Brands. That brought a lot of changes. Gone were the traditional Cape Cod-style blue roof buildings filled with nautical bric-a-brac. Instead, many locations became generic fast food joints, often splitting their space with another Yum Brands chain like A&W or Taco Bell. The overall impact to the dining experience was profound, but it took a while for the company to right the ship. In 2018, they finally unveiled a new, modern design based on the original Seaside Snack Shack feel. Whether or not that will turn the tide remains to be seen. How damaging was the push to have locations split space with other brands? In 2010, a Long John Silver's franchisee filed suit against parent company Yum Brands, alleging that the company misled the franchisee in its determination to co-brand his 26 locations with the A&W brand. The lawsuit alleged that the A&W and Long John Silver's co-branding efforts resulted in restaurants that were not as profitable as standalone locations, and made cross-promotion between brands next to impossible. There was also a 2005 class action lawsuit alleging unfair labor practices, plus other lawsuits from franchisees. The good news? Yum Brands finally gave up, and in 2011 sold Long John Silver's to an investment group that included both franchisees and chain founder Jim Patterson, who hoped to right the ship. When Long John Silver's debuted in the late 60s, fried food was all the rage. But that was 50 years ago. A half-century later, people are craving healthier options, and the chain has been slow to respond. A menu overhaul which includes grilled options and healthier side dishes was finally unveiled in 2018. But it was only rolled out to a few locations. New COO Blaine Shortreed said in 2019 he planned to focus on rolling out the new menu to more locations over the course of the year. Here's hoping it's not too late.
Long John Silver's, am I up to you? Fish strip. Fish strip!
One problem that the chain has very little control over is the price of seafood. While chains like McDonald's and Burger King can buy cheap products at huge profit margins, Long John Silver's is at the mercy of a seafood market which is expensive and fickle. Profit margins are thin, meaning that when other chains slash prices and offer special deals, Long John Silver's is often unable to respond in kind, leaving them financially high and dry.
Long John Silver's is the perfect place to learn the value of $1. Right, boys?
Mrs. Salmage.
Lent is a Catholic religious observance where members are discouraged from eating red meat on Fridays as a shout out to Jesus and the 40-day fast that led up to his crucifixion. And that results in massive sales boost for Long John Silver's, which begins its Lent marketing 6 months in advance. In 2017, the chain sold 2 million pounds of seafood during Lent. On average, Friday sales at Long John Silver's during Lent go up by 84%. You know the old adage, religious folk love delicious crustaceans.
As fine a crustacean as a man could ask for.
That's great, but it means that tens of millions of customers are treating the chain as a once-a-year destination instead of a year-round dining option. Changing that perception would go a long way to help the bottom line. In 2013, the Center for Science in the Public Interest named the chain's Big Catch menu item the worst meal in America, thanks in part to 33 grams of trans fat to go with 3,700 milligrams of sodium along other dietary offenses. CSPI Executive Director Michael F. Jacobson said in a press release that the meal was a heart attack on a hook. Instead of the Big Catch, I'd call it America's deadliest catch. That bad press didn't help anything, so it's no surprise that a year later, Long John Silver's announced they were completely removing trans fat from their menu. Even the chain's current owners, LJS Partners LLC, seemed like they'd be happy to unload the business given half the chance. A sale looked imminent in 2015 after LJS Partners and a Texas-based company called KeyCorp entered into a preliminary sales agreement. However, both companies, quote, mutually agreed to terminate the agreement at the last minute. Now, LJS Partners is left holding the company, with no plans to sell, quote, for the foreseeable future. Sounds like it's time for someone to finally figure out how to reignite our national love affair with quick service fried fish. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more MASH videos about your favorite restaurants are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.